Hi, my name's Paige. Welcome.
To what?
You put me on the spot.
Sound like a monster.
I know.
All right. I think we're good to go. Just pause this. What's up?
Hello?
I think that's how you sound.
Tonight we will be discussing the book that Mordecai recently published.
Okay, no. Let's.
No?
All right.
Okay, I'll shut up so that you begin.
Okay. Hold on.
Oh, it's fine. And I'll post this when you say, "Hold on."
Oh, well, when last time you gave me a script, and now it's.
Last time there were questions from people, so this time around it's going to be freestyle. Yep.
Good evening, everybody. My name's Paige, and tonight I am here with Mordecai, and we will be discussing the book that he has recently published. And this is it right here.
The Odyssey.
Start over.
What do you mean? I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
That was not a good introduction.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, it was not good.
Okay, I'm gonna stop this.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, greetings to wherever you are. And my name is Paige, and I am here tonight taking over the interviewing role with Mordecai, who recently wrote a book, and it was recently published, The Odyssey of the Optimist. And it's a story of his journey from childhood, from poverty to becoming a successful journalist and to becoming the man that he is today. Great man and a great friend.
Oh,
So,
thank you.
Yes.
I wouldn't say great.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
I say that you are.
Oh yeah, thank
And I
you.
think a lot of other people would agree with that as well.
I don't take that for granted. Thank you.
Oh, yes. Yes. You're welcome. So, how are you?
Well, I'm having a great time having you around. I think the last time you were on this channel, we had just hit 10,000 subscribers, and now
Yes.
we just hit 15,000 subscribers.
How many?
So, 15,000.
Oh, wow.
So that means you
That's
have to
awesome.
keep on coming many times.
Oh.
People ask me, "Where's Paige?" You need to show up as many times as you can.
I do. I enjoy doing this with you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yep.
So, anyways, I've been having a great time. Like you said, I published my book, and I was very excited. It's very funny how your own story can take you so long to write. I mean, if I told you that it took me close to 2 years to write my own story, you wouldn't believe. But after writing it and publishing it, was a sigh of relief, and I've had a number of people support me. I had very different people come, buy ordering the book from different. I mean, this book is in every continent. I've had
Really?
people
Wow.
from Asia. I've had 4 people from Australia. I've had people in Canada, and that's North America. I have people in Africa who use Amazon Global. I have people almost from everywhere buying the book, and our local store recently organized a book signing event where I sold all the books, so that was amazing. So, and I'm enjoying my job. I'm enjoying myself. So I can say I'm not complaining.
No, you never do. You're very optimistic.
Just like the theme of the book.
Yes.
Optimism
Yes.
drives me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, why did you feel the need to now share your story? Like most people, 50s, 60s, 70s, that's when they share their story. So, but why now? Why?
That's a
this
very,
age?
very interesting question. One, I usually use a very sad saying. I said that I've been to more funerals than weddings, sort of to animate the kind of life I've lived. I've seen so many difficult things than I've seen good things, much as those few things that I've seen continue to drive me. Recently, when I got myself actively involved in politics and current affairs, I've seen many of the comrades and friends that I know being killed and murdered. And I'm like, what's going on? And then I sat down and realized that, of recent, just like we're recording this now, a friend of mine, Honorable Segirinya Muhammad in Uganda, just died. He was only 36 years of age. So I realized that given the kind of environment where I was born and raised, there's so many people in Uganda who are born and raised in abject poverty, and they do not have an opportunity to look at a person who can tell their story of what they had. I might die tomorrow, and if I do not tell this story now, people may never know. People whose only thing that would change their mindset is this book may never have that opportunity. So
Right.
I decided, it was some sort of an epiphany. I'm like, sudden realization, I need to write something. And I did. So I know people, like you said, usually people write their memoirs when they're 70s, 60s, or if they've had $5 billion in their account. I don't have that, but I know where I came from, and I want to inspire someone who is still there.
Right. Yes. Yep. And we need need positivity.
Absolutely, yeah.
We really do in the midst of a lot.
Yeah, especially in an environment, a world where social media has taken over, and most of the times what we see on social media is negativity. It is pessimism and apathy and stuff like that. So you need someone to always remind us, that things can be better. And I think that's what I was trying to do in this book.
Yes. And you did. Yes.
Yeah.
There was a lot of inspiration.
Yeah.
that was
Did you
written in the
enjoy it?
book. I did. I really did.
Yeah, thank you.
Really did enjoy it. Yes. So going through your memories, was it challenging to revisit those while you were writing?
Absolutely. Some of them were very amazing, very challenging, and of course, amazing. Because some of these things that I talk about are things that really almost brought me to a point of breaking. Like I talk about my brother when I was when I was at the university, and I couldn't raise my tuition, and I went to him and told him that, hey, King, I think I'm not going to do it. I think I have failed. And I remember my brother, who had dropped out of school during high school, telling me, you cannot do this to us. So even thinking about it now, I get emotional because I can still see my brother right now telling me, you cannot do this to us. And what he did to me, he took me to he took me to a place where they do wholesale, and he bought me candy, lollipop and stuff, and told me, sell this at the school and see if you can raise tuition. And when he did that, then I realized what he saw in me. So thinking about all these things, I'm like, oh my God. He realized that probably he wasn't able to achieve what he wanted, but he saw something through me. Probably he could achieve it through me. So these kind of things, and walking more than 6 miles to and from the university, I was staying in a certain division, that is Lubaga division, and then I was studying from Machinde division. It's quite a distance. I had to walk. All these things, every time I remember, I'm like, wow. And away from all these stories of me, but stories of my friends whom I really loved and respected, whom I believed they were very smart and they were not able to have education, have an opportunity. Kids that I talk about, like Gumisi Reza Ashraf and Batesh Shafiq, whom I truly believed that had they been given an opportunity, they would change the world. They didn't have that opportunity. So I sit down, I feel like sometimes I'm like, will I ever see you again? can we go back to those days? Can we? I mean, these are stories that I'm like, their futures were died because they didn't have an opportunity that I had. And who am I? So I want to speak to some people out there and be like, hey, probably you could be that person that would tell a story that would inspire someone. So yeah, absolutely. They're very challenging. Some of them, like I write in this book, I would be writing and shed tears and I had to stop,
Oh,
you know.
so many emotions.
Absolutely.
So many mixed ones. Oh, definitely. So in the beginning, it talk about the poverty, how it was generational poverty. Almost like it was in your DNA.
Yeah, just like I said in the book,
Poverty,
because there's a gap between the rich and the poor in Uganda. The rich are really rich and the poor are really poor. And to even think that Mordecai would sit down and say, I want to be on a national TV, I want to anchor news, I want to have an opportunity where I can speak to people and try to guide them. I want to be a voice that would remind the government that, hey, here is what you're doing wrong. That was unheard of. That was sort of living in a utopia. Be like, oh, you're daydreaming. You cannot do it. I mean, people where I was born were known to spend most of the times drinking, cheap alcohol and spend time in some, not that they wanted, but because they found that themselves in that kind of a situation. You're poor and your neighbor is poor. So even to think that you'd do it. So like I write in the book, when I finally, the first time I had an opportunity to work on radio, and I told folks in my neighborhood, I'm like, hey, I'm going to be on the radio. And the word went through the neighborhood, be like, hey, do you know this guy is going to be on radio? Some of them didn't believe it. And when I was, when they heard me on 104.9 Subi FM, when I went back in the neighborhood, they were like, oh, that's our guy. So many of them realized that, oh, actually working on radio, just like it happened when I went to TV, it's not for the chosen few. You can actually do it. You can come from these ghettos and you can make it. Yeah, so it was poverty, but I didn't want that poverty to define my destiny.
So what was it that made you decide or that made you say that it was going to be different for me? This is not what life has to be like. I'm going to break this cycle. I'm going to show them that I can do it. Like, what was, instead of, I'm sure a lot of them, they just, okay, if you're poor, and then that's just how you live. Like, what was it for you that was different for you than a lot of them?
It's very funny. And I'm quite certain, my story is not any extraordinary or any special story, but I'm speaking to those folks who are in the same kind of lifestyle where I was. So I think there was some sort of a divine hand behind me that I was able to recognize at a very young age and realize that this divine, invisible hand is trying to guide me. And then came favor from different folks, and I believe they were guided by that invisible hand to help me. And when I started having these people, random people who came into my life, and some of them were just my teachers, others were random people like matrons in school, and be like, oh, by the way, you'll be this. Do you know you can do this? I'm like, why? Like, I tell a story like when I was in my primary level, and I had my head teacher. His name is Elima Jackson, and there was something our school used to do. So in Uganda, if you don't have school fees, you're sent back home. And time came when every time schools sent children back home, students would instead now go do unnecessary stuff like watching movies or engaging in unimportant stuff. So the school decided that instead of sending these children back home, if they don't have school fees, we're going to keep them at school, but they won't be in class. So we would be in some sort of a teachers resource center, a place where teachers meet during their breaks. And at one time I was seated there with my friends, and Mr. Elima Jackson comes to us, all of us, and is like, hey, why don't your parents, the class, like we were around 70, but only like 9 kids were in the class. So he comes and says, "Hey, why do you think your parents don't pay school fees?" Then I stood and I remember what I said. I spoke about the fact that they were into alcohol, they didn't have jobs, and at that point, that's when he appointed me to become the head boy, the leader of all students at school. And those kind of points, in my life, I'm like, why is he choosing me? Inspired me. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to stop here. If he's been able to give me this opportunity, I want to use it. If I go in another setup, I want to stand out, because I realized that I wasn't actually being chosen or given an opportunity because I was anything special, but because that invisible hand was inspiring me to something greater than my life. And I think that's what inspired me to be like, I'm not going to allow this to define me. I'm not going to allow poverty to define me. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome
Thank you.
that you did that. Oops, sorry.
Oh, it's fine.
Okay. Well, yeah, and I was going to ask you what you think went through their minds, the ones that, believed in the generational poverty. But do you think that it changed their minds when they saw you on TV?
Absolutely, 100%. I can tell you this. When I went, look, time came, and I had a billboard in the city with my face on. And I remember when I was a kid and going through ghettos and cities in our country, and I would see faces of people who worked on TV or who were celebrities, and I'd be like, these faces are there because they've done something remarkable. So will I have my face on a billboard one day? Is that even possible? It was far-fetched. But as a result of seeing these things, of seeing these billboards and saying, I want to do it, I was able to do it. Now, I believe that folks who are in the same or who are going through the same situation I went through are able to see it is the same world, it's the same environment, are able to see them and be like, I can do it. Mm-hmm. I've had my childhood friends who tell me, man, in my language, they say, Wachikuba. Can you say that?
Wachikuba?
Wachikuba.
Wachikuba? Keep saying it the same way.
You know how it sounds? Wachikuba.
Okay, yeah.
So Wachikuba means, oh man, you did it, Mm-hmm. So some of them, and when I hear that comment, they bring it as some sort of a funny comment, but it is some sort of, oh man, you did it for us. You did it, So it changed their minds. And I'm so glad that some of them have actually come out and told me, Mordecai, it was you actually who inspired me to do this. It was you. When I saw you on TV, man, I was like, man, I have to go back to the university. I'm like, oh, so it took you actually 3 years after I had graduated for you to go back. I'm like, oh, yeah. I'm like, that's it. So, yep.
Wow. Amazing.
Yep.
So growing up in poverty, nights with little to no food, hours upon hours of working, and then those breaks where you didn't go to school. It was probably for, weeks at a time?
Oh, yeah.
We're not going. So what was it that kept you going? Because a lot of people give up. A lot of, they just believe in the failures, or they don't think they.
Yeah, along the way came a man whom I listened to, I think by chance, I don't know, Martin Luther King Jr., a civil rights activist in the USA. And when I started listening to him and, some of the things that he said started to inspire me. And then I started to sort of copy. But I read of kind of a history where he was born and what inspired him. I'm like, maybe this can be done in my country. But again, it was far-fetched. One thing I know for sure is there's been this invisible hand that has guided me and the favor of people. When they came to my life, like I'll give you an example of people like my high school teacher, Mr. Chimoli Patrick. When he came to my life and realized that I had an opportunity, that I have a talent of reading anchoring news and talking and or leadership. He tried to guide me, and he was a little tough on me, but I loved that. And every time, if teachers paid attention, he inspired me. He would cane me, like, I know people they call it child abuse here in the USA, but he caned me and is my favorite teacher of all time. And that's not Stockholm syndrome. People will be like, oh, you love someone who tortured you. He never tortured me. But every time I realized that, oh, this man is doing it for my good, I said, okay, I'm not going to embarrass him. I'm going to do it. And these random people that came to my life kept my spirit wanting or yearning for more.
Well,
And,
reading through the book, it seemed like through every step of your journey, there was somebody or people that just were there. It seemed like, and it was probably just always at the right time.
And just
wasn't
like
it?
you right now.
No. But they just,
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sure, they were there and put there.
Yep.
I mean, those moments where there probably was little faith.
Like, I give an example of Judge Amin's grandmother, Sharon Davison, almost dropping out of the university because it was extremely tough. She pops up on Facebook. We become friends.
Yeah.
And she ends up helping me. I mean, I never had a relative in the USA, never believed I would have one, never thought about flying to the USA for what. But here comes another person.
Right. Yeah. Just at the right time.
At the right time. I'm like, okay. At one time when she told me she was going to help me with some money for tuition, I'm like, this must be a scam. Okay, go on and send it. And you can't imagine how I ran to the bank to check when she told me, oh, I sent you this amount. I'm like, oh, okay. And when I told her, yeah, I received it. Thank you so much, Judge Sharon.
Oh, yeah. It would be very hard to.
Yeah. To believe that, someone would do that. Yeah,
for sure. It really would be.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So in your book, you mention a lot of your mom. Just the things that she said were very wise. It seemed like she had faith and she believed in you and was supportive.
But yeah, very supportive and extremely tough.
Yeah.
For the reasons of trying to guide. Yeah, she used to say those random words that really stuck in my mind. And she was a woman of faith, and she wanted to see some sort of change. And every time I did something, sometimes I didn't think that, she appreciated, but she wanted more. She'd be like, you can go beyond that. You can go beyond that. So as a result of that, I kept going and going and going until I was able to make her proud.
Yeah, but she was your constant, wasn't she?
Yep.
Yeah, you
Yep.
had all these people that were there to inspire you and to keep you going, but your mom was.
Yeah, absolutely.
She was a constant.
Yeah, just like I say, shortly after finishing high school, people, looks like I'm telling all the stories. People won't buy the book. But shortly after high school, and when I was looking for where to keep my savings, she was the one keeping my guinea pig. My piggy. I'm not using guinea pig. No, you call them
Piggy
banks. Yeah, not guinea pig. Okay.
You say that because I have one. That's probably why.
Yeah. So
Probably where you get it from.
oh, now I know. Okay.
Okay.
So here, I would save her. I would let her save my money. She would save my money. And when time came for me to join the university, and because I knew that she was my bank. I wouldn't worry about her using it at all. And so she was a constant. I remember sometimes when I went back and she didn't have food, and and I looked at her, and she told me something I didn't understand at the time. She says, God doesn't rush and doesn't delay. And I told her, I think it's delayed when it comes to us. It's delayed. She says, no. I don't know what she meant then, but now I know. I think he never delayed. Probably there were a few marks that I missed or someone missed. Probably is always, I believe God has always been there for me, to guide me, and for you, for every person.
Yes.
So she was the constant, just like you said.
Yeah. No, I think so. I did enjoy reading, just like the things that you would quote what your mom said, and they were just very, very wise words. So yeah, I did. I guess there was just like some things I was curious about, but like you said, don't want to tell stories that were in your book.
Yeah,
so
please. Buy the Odyssey of the Optimist. You're going to enjoy it.
buy the book.
Yeah,
So.
she enjoyed it. She said she was crying when she read
I
the
did.
book.
There were parts, yes,
Yeah.
and there were parts, yes, that made me tear up, and I would have to set it down and just let it process and think about it, about like those moments, and really reflect on them. I mean, because I feel like, I think for me, the thing about a good book is when an author writes the words to where you are seeing it in your mind like a movie the whole time. That's what I feel.
And that's what I had really in
book.
mind when I was writing. I was like, I want to have a conversation where people can see what I'm trying to
and
tell.
that's what made it to where I would tear up and cry, because when you're reading it, you're just picturing it, and it's playing in your mind the whole time, and it's touching. It really is.
Thank you.
Have your family and friends, have they read the book?
A few of my friends have read the book. Many Ugandans have not. Actually, in Uganda, I would doubt if, because I've not yet shipped them. I was in contact with some local publishers to have them published there. And I'm still into negotiation and stuff like that, so I will. So.
Okay.
But I would do it. And then I have, I hope I'm not answering your next question, but I'm planning translating it into my language.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was going to ask you that. No, that's okay. We're hitting them.
Okay. Okay, yeah, because many people in Uganda, now that you mentioned Uganda, many people in Uganda would want to have a translated version, language they can relate to Luganda.
Okay. Yeah. And your family, they know
Absolutely.
about the book, and
They know about my life.
well, they know about your life, yes, but I'm sure, like, are they anxious too?
Yeah, absolutely.
To
They
read through
are.
it.
They are. Many of them. All of them have told me, "Hey, I want my copy," because and it's funny how you'd enjoy a story about your life. You know, I've recited poems about you, and you like them. Yet I'm talking about you. You know.
Yeah, it was a very good poem.
Okay.
Yes. Would you like to share it? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Next,
Okay.
that's the next book.
Yeah, absolutely. What's the title?
Oh,
All right.
The Odyssey of
Paige.
Paige.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. Okay. So, was there anything that you discovered about yourself as you were writing your book?
Yeah, something I really discovered about myself, there are a few things. But one of them is the connection that I have with people. I love people, and I don't love people for the sake of just having a conversation with them. Like, I really, really love people because I believe there's a deeply rooted love that we've not yet seen. Not people. People just need to be given opportunities. But the reason that's why I love people is people from all walks of life came to my rescue. People I didn't ask for. I didn't know where they were coming from. And as a result of that, I realized, this is why I'm very connected to people, because they came for me, they connected to me, just like Bluetooth, when I wasn't even looking for them. I was losing hope and giving up, and they would just come out of the blue. So that is the connection. And when I connect with people now, I want to be sort of that person. And when I mention all these people are quick to think that, all these people helped me through monetary terms. No. Just like my high school teacher, he just loved me. He just wanted me to pass biology, and he did those kind of things. Metron at my high school just gave me conversations. We would sit and just talk, and I still to now speak to her and appreciate her. She was somewhere around like the age of my mom, but she, we used to see, she would sit down and she would tell me about stories when she was a kid, and I enjoyed those conversations. I would go to school to just after class, then I would sit with Metron to listen to the conversations. And other people like Mr. Senkumba Issa, I talk about him. He just made the environment just happy. He would create, an environment where we would do what he named mock debates. We would mock celebrities, and all these people just were coming and bringing different things. So I learned that this is why I enjoy connecting to people, because I want to give them what they gave me.
Right.
Yeah. I hope I will try.
Yeah, it's like you're saying, there's people from all walks of life that helped you.
Yeah.
So, like, you connecting with people.
Yeah.
How should I say this? You connecting with people that, instead of a lot of us that, we just, especially like even our job, we pass by many people, and like for you, you see it differently. You see something more deeper when you talk to these people. You believe like there's something about each person that nobody else realizes or nobody else sees.
Absolutely.
And so I think that instead of judging a book by its cover or just seeing like just that first layer of people.
Yeah, because there are people who didn't believe in me, who just ignored me, who didn't be like, that's from a poor family. We don't have to be friends with him. But I don't care about that. I mean, I'm talking about optimism. I don't care.
Yeah.
But how about those people, regardless of where I came from, regardless of how I looked, they were like, he deserves an opportunity.
Right.
That's a chance, So, and these are people around us. There are people who are looking for opportunity. There's this lady who came to me, and I was like, hey, are you okay? She's like, no, I'm not okay. And, she started crying. She only said, can I get a hug? She only wanted a hug.
Yeah.
And I understand. Some people be like, oh, I won't do that. Some people can take advantage, can abuse that. You've got to use in Christianity, they call it the Holy Spirit, to understand, can I do this? You don't go hugging everybody, then people be like, is he okay? But if we are given an opportunity, if you can seize that opportunity of being that light in somebody's face, if it's your day, but some people won't even try.
Right.
They're just skeptical or pessimistic and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. And for a lot of people, I mean, even just like you wanting to have a deeper connection rather than just a hi, how are you?
Absolutely.
Our daily script that we have. You might be the only person that has, really even tried, or, they may be around people that aren't very kind, but you're the one kind person, you're thoughtful about it, and
Thank you.
Can make a big difference.
I want to reach out.
Oh yeah.
Try to understand people, and because I know hate and pessimism and all these things that we carry are very dangerous than we realize.
Oh yeah. It is.
Why not live in be free? I mean, at the end of the day, you go to your job and You have to put in all these hours working, doing a lot of stuff. Now imagine that exhaustion when you go back home and you add on the amount of people you had on. I mean, how are you going to be able to handle? Get rid of that hate and at least worry about the exhaustion, you had at work and your daily struggles. But not now having to carry this, oh, I hate that person, stuff like that.
It weighs.
Yeah, extremely.
It does. It does.
Yeah. I'm on hot seat.
Yes. Well, also along writing, besides what you discovered about yourself, did it change how you viewed yourself and your life journey?
Absolutely. It rather reaffirmed and really established the true meaning of optimism. Look, earlier today I told you about the term in psychology called the anticipatory anxiety. People get afraid of stuff they've not even gotten to. People, they're told, tomorrow this is going to happen. And they are worried only for that thing not to happen. For example, we had a recent when they said storm is coming and everyone was freaking out. And the following morning, I was mad when I woke up and there was nothing. Everyone expected snow of 7 feet. That's what they said. I understand. You have to be, you have to be cautious. You have to take care of yourself. But don't get yourself in that situation. Like I write in the book, que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. People anticipate fear or worry or anxiety. So mine reestablished this optimism. I'm like, everything is going to be all right. Sometimes I even say it jokingly. I'm like, no, everything is going to be okay. What do you mean it's going to be okay? I'm not good. I'm not this person who comes out and says, do you remember what I told you? No, but I let people realize that, it's going to be all right. And that doesn't necessarily mean that, go back home and sleep. Don't do anything. Do something.
Right.
But if you reach a point where you cannot do it or you can't do anything, you'll be like, okay, I've done this. Let me see what's going to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it gave me that real optimism.
Yes. Let's see. Is there a part of your story that you feel particularly proud to share?
Yeah. High school. If there's a term in Welsh language of the people from Wales, it's called hiraeth. Hiraeth, in simple or loosely translated English, is homesickness or nostalgic. But no, hiraeth is longing for a place you cannot return. I'm longing for my high school days. Despite of the fact that it was very difficult, I was surrounded by people who really loved me, teachers who really believed in me, teachers who pushed me. And I hope this book lands in hands of teachers, one teacher to know this is what I can do in kids' lives. And I hope, and I believe one day teacher will know, will read this book and be like, I want to be a Chimli Patrick. I can be this. So I was very happy to tell a story of this Chimli Patrick. Let me tell you this high school teacher, Chimli Patrick. He had just completed his high school, getting ready to go to university. He just loved to do his job. He loved kids. And if I tell you about him, you might think that, is this guy might be in his 50s. I think he's only 6 years older than me or 7. But his love for kids or for students, because he had gone through the same. So that story, I was very glad to share that part about my life.
Yeah, I've had, it's been a while back, but talked to a teacher, and, you have your kids and your students that, that pass by every year, how many kids. And, but just for that teacher, even if just to have that one kid that they knew that they made an impact on, just, made their whole career, it changed that student's life. And that was, obviously they're, goal is to make a difference in every kid's life. But it would just knowing that even just one kid that they made
A difference.
made a huge difference in their
Absolutely.
life, like
Yeah.
that, you know, that was a goal.
Yep.
You know, even
Yep.
just one kid.
Yeah,
that,
absolutely.
That they could change their life forever for the rest of their life. Have that impact. So you achieved your goals, your dreams that you had as a child in Uganda.
Yep.
And now you're an adult here in the U.S. Do you still have dreams? Do you still have goals now, or is it just relax now?
Oh, I did it all.
Yep.
I don't know whether they're called left brain people or people who are creative. People are creative. I'm very creative, and when it comes to writing and stuff like that, I never let myself rest. I'm always thinking of what am I supposed to do? My dreams have not really. All those were my childhood dreams I achieved. Now I'm looking for adulthood dreams, and I've not stopped. Now I'm on a journey of writing. Of course, not writing my book, but what am I going to be when I'm 50 or 40 or 60? I don't know. Now, I've set out a few goals of things I want to achieve, and these will be adulthood dreams. And probably when I achieve these dreams in the next 5, 20, 40 years, then I'll write another story.
Yeah.
And probably you'll be in that, that book too. Singing.
The Odyssey of Paige #2.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you feel like your book captures your entire story or the message that you're wanting to give people, or do you have a plan of
I think
doing more?
for
sharing?
now, the first edition captures the major important thing I wanted to communicate, and that is optimism, the gist, the theme of the book. And I think it does. It paints that picture. And I'm glad for that. So I'm really proud.
Good.
Probably I'll have other themes when I finally make it to however years I might.
All right. What do you hope readers learn to take away from your experiences?
One, they say it's always darkest before dawn. It's going to be difficult, and it usually gets worse before it gets better. You just have to keep believing that tomorrow is going to be okay. Look, they can just be empty words. I might say them and be like, you're saying them because you add this. But I'm telling you, tomorrow is going to be a different day. If you can just be a little patient. Patience doesn't necessarily mean, I've got to relax now, I'm not going to do anything. Keep doing what you're doing, but have the belief because believing and putting in the work is the oil that makes that everything move. You need to just believe, but don't just have these funny belief of just staying home and eating pizzas and stuff. No, wake up, go do your job, be consistent, and believe that it's going to be. The difference between winners, my high school teacher used to say that victors don't do extraordinary things. They do ordinary things extraordinarily. Do the usual thing you do, but do them in an extraordinary way. And continue believing that the more you do these things extraordinarily, somewhere, somehow, something is going to happen, because people, our energy and our effort, our potential is usually appreciated. Usually when folks are able to see us and be like, oh, I think this person does more than I do, there's going to come someone who is able to see that, and it may change your story. So believe, be optimistic.
Wow.
Did I sound like a preacher?
No, it was just very inspiring words.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. Has there been any feedback that you heard that has meant a lot to you?
Yeah, starting with you when you said it made you emotional. Mm-hmm. I've not been in a situation where I've not seen you emotional several times. So I was like, she's emotional.
Oh,
I'm kidding. All of us have emotions. But when you told me that, I'm like, oh, it's really. And I've had other people who have sent me messages. Recently, I had there's a guy in Turkey told me, Mordecai, this story, thank you so much. Some of them have sent me messages. Look, when I talk about connecting with people, I have plenty of people from different countries. I don't know them. They just be like, I've read this book and I'm going to buy it for my kid. I may never see that kid. I may not even see that person ever. But it has done something. That to me gives me a good night's sleep. Yeah.
wow. Okay, so, where can we get your book?
Well, good question. You can get that book on Amazon. If you live in a country where Amazon operates, you can get yourself a copy. And paperback is only $12. Hardcover $15 and Kindle $6. If you live in a country where Amazon doesn't operate, I think I just found out that there's something called Amazon Global. So you can use Amazon Global to order yourself a copy. Look, I've had a few friends who have bought this book in Saudi Arabia, so you can get it. And, if you can't, you can as well send me a message. MordecaiMorisa@books.com. That's my Gmail. You can be like, hey, let's do this. Or you can as well invite me for a speaking session, not in Uganda. And if I come for a speaking session, I'll carry my books. So, yeah.
Okay, so as readers, how can they connect with you or stay updated?
So on TikTok, I have a huge following there. You can follow me there. On Facebook, Mordecai Morisa. I use the same name on across all platforms. X platform or Twitter, Mordecai Morisa. And my DMs are open to you all. So you can contact me. I won't read you my WhatsApp because then I'll have a billion messages.
All right, well, before we wrap this all up, is there anything else that you want to share, or is there anything that you'd like to highlight?
Well, one thing I really want to share is to say thank you. Now, I don't know who is watching this, but I hope some people that have been in my life are able to watch this. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for everything you have done for me. It might not even mean a thing to you, be like, what did I do? But thank you so much. It is you that make this world a better place. You gave me an opportunity, and it is from that opportunity that I've been able to use it to help other people. Then away from me, I want to extend my appreciation to every person out there who is helping someone. Could be your brother, your sister, your relative, your sibling, or your friend, people you don't know. Keep doing that. And when you do that, do not wait to be appreciated. Do not just be there waiting for results. Just do it and let it go. Don't own these people that you've helped. Don't just sit there and be like, oh, I help these people. No, just help people and let them fly. That's how we change the world. The world is not changed by politicians. It starts with us, people around us. What are you doing for the neighbor? What are you doing for a person you're seated with in an aeroplane? Or you're flying and there's this lady who cannot carry her luggage and you're just rushing. Do that. You don't know what that does. I mean, you're in a grocery store and there's this person that needs to be helped. Don't just ignore. Don't look at that as an inconvenience. There's an opportunity that helps that person you're helping and yourself. It changes some things. Some systems within you change that you may not be able to realize, but do it for the sake of changing this world. So thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And thank you too for agreeing to do this.
Of course.
I know I inconvenienced your programs.
My programs? What programs?
You're a busy woman.
Oh, no, I'm not that busy. easy.
To get you, it's very difficult.
Well, it can be, but with our work schedule and stuff.
Absolutely,
But no,
yeah.
I am more than happy to do this
Yeah.
for you and with you. So thank you, everybody, for taking the time to listen to this. And I do highly encourage you to get Mordecai's book. I've mentioned it over and over again about the inspiration it gives, but it truly does. The way that he has it written about his life, there's this optimism. I mean, you really can feel it, and you can hear it, the optimism that he has through his journey, every step that he takes through life. And it's touching. It really is. So I do highly encourage you to read it and pass it on to friends and family for encouragement to pass on that positivity and just knowing that anything is possible.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's fine.
I think with this is saying that with God, anything is possible. A lot of things in life, situations that we feel are impossible. It is. There's a lot of things in this book that I can just think of so many Bible verses and the promises that God tells us of his faithfulness and love that I see through his life that proves it, that God did it. And he has been blessed and is blessed. And it happened in his life, and it can happen in yours. It can happen in ours. So thank you, Mordecai, for taking the time to share your story and share it with others
Thank you. Yeah.
for their lives.
I'm sorry I made you cry.
No. Now you saw my emotions.
There's a very strong emotion I love about you is joy. We're always laughing every time we
Oh,
get
we
together. So
always
I love that
are.
emotion. So
Yes,
I know you have
there's
very
joy.
good emotions. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. So thank you so much. I think I'll hand you some copies to sell to your people. Like I talk about in my book, I used to hawk stuff, sell stuff on streets. Then I would be shouting at customers, hey, buy the book. I think that's
Okay.
what you're going to do during summer. You're going to be standing on
all
streets
right.
and calling people,
Okay.
buy Mordecai's book. How is that?
Okay. Sounds like a job.
Yeah. So are we done? Can I take off my jacket?
Yes.
All right. We are done.
Did you enjoy what you just watched? I'm going to guess that you did. How about you consider subscribing to Mordecai Marissa YouTube channel? Thank you.